What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all doing really well. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is just sort of summarising the key parts of what happened within the VV community update. This went down or was launched yesterday. If you haven't gone and watched it, I'll leave it in the link in the description below. But the first thing I want to touch on here is the fact that we're actually going to be involved with the Comic-Con event in San Diego. Now, I don't know if anybody really knows how significant this actually is, or if you're a collector, you definitely know how significant this is. But you know, this is the biggest pop culture event in the world. Anybody who's anybody within collecting goes to these events, and you know, what's cool about this one is it's actually a virtual event this time. So it's going to be done all online, it's interactive, and I'm really excited about it because I'm in the UK, so actually going out to San Diego would have been a pretty difficult thing for me to do for a couple of days. So I'm definitely going to be participating in this virtual event. They're going to be doing some pretty cool announcements as well. VEVE have already said they're going to be releasing some new brands, which is going to be really awesome. I can't wait to see what they're going to release. They've got new collectibles getting released in the Comic-Con event, and also there's going to be some new limited edition tags that are going to be attached to some of these collectibles as well. So this is all going to be really exciting. These are going to be first appearances. If you think about from an event perspective, it's the first time VEVE has gone to an event. So I think these collectibles are going to have some pretty significant value, but also going to be really cool sort of historical moments and historical pieces when we sort of consider the long-term vision of VEVE. This isn't financial advice, but I would definitely get involved and recommend going there. Now, one of the cool things that you touched upon within this as well is the kind of exposure that it's going to have. And I thought I'd just quickly sort of paint this picture out for you, just summarise it for you, just so you understand how this is all going to come full circle. You know, when we have VEVE sort of being represented or being a part of the Comic-Con event, okay, what we're going to find is there going to be a ton of new people, okay? That's what the COM stands for. There's going to be a ton of new people that are going to be exposed to VEVE from this event, and they're going to want to get involved with these new collectibles that are going to be releasing. That's what these C stands for, is new collectibles. Now, I've touched on my previous videos as well about how important it is for VEVE to have inventory, and they touched upon this, which I thought was very, very important to remember. And they basically reiterated what I've been sharing with you in my videos, is that when new users, for example, in this Comic-Con event, we use the Comic-Con event as an example, come into VEVE and they see these limited edition collectibles, but also if they just get exposed to VEVE for the first time, it's like sort of an onboarding effect of new users. They need to have inventory so that these new users can get involved. Now, I think what's important to remember here is that in the secondary market, some of the prices can be quite inflated for certain collectibles. And what they were touching upon was that when people are getting involved with the platform, they don't want people to just feel like they're getting immediately priced out. You know, they don't want to feel like these collectibles are just getting too out of reach too soon. So I think this is why it's sort of coming full circle for you guys. You know, the Comic-Con event is going to bring millions of new eyeballs, millions of new exposure or new potential collectors into VEVE to let them understand what VEVE is. They're going to have these new exclusive collectibles, these new exclusive tags, and then obviously we're gonna have inventory in the marketplace as well for these new users to come into. So I thought I'd just quickly break that down for you. Very, very exciting. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Now, another aspect they touched upon is sort of the release of a web platform. Now, I've just gone onto their website just to sort of give you sort of a visual. This is just their company website. This isn't what it's going to look like. But they're going to be having essentially the same functionality that we have within the mobile app onto the web app. Now, this is pretty interesting to think about when we consider the fact that you know, we're going to have auction style. You can do your auctions online. You can buy your collectibles on here. You can sort of customize your showcases more easily with a web platform. And I just think it brings a whole new element to this. You know, you're going to have your mobile phone to get into the VR and to use your collectibles. I mean, you can even sorry, let me just turn that down. You can even like I say, you can even collect and do your auctions and everything else with the functionality of the web app. So I thought that was a very, very cool update to happen. Now, another thing I want to touch upon, I want to touch upon as well, is they're increasing the token utility. I think it's important to sort of consider when we think about VEVE as this sort of collectible marketplace. They're going to continue to add utility to this token, which is really important for us. Now, one of the utilities they're going to be doing is they're going to be allowing users to purchase NFTs either with gems or OMI. Now, I think that's a really interesting way, or a very crucial element to add to the functionality of the token, to allow people to purchase NFTs, because the original design was that you buy your gems, and then you essentially go into the platform and then you buy your VV collectible. Now, what's going to be interesting is seeing them allow people to use their OMI. So just adding that more functionality, adding that utility, and the way that I gathered, or what I watched on the video is it's going to be a simple transfer. If you have your OMI, you can go in, they just confirm that you've got it within your wallet, and that transfers into the other person's wallet. So I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to touch upon. Now, I'm not going to go into sort of token buybacks and stuff, because I'll be honest with you, I'm from my knowledge pool, it really isn't the things that I focus on the most. I know it's very crucial. I know it's very important. So there are other channels out there that will touch upon that for you more. But for me, I more specifically touch upon the actual collectible marketplace and VEVE as a whole, because that's really where my passion lies for this community. I am invested in the OMI token, but my main focus is in sort of the growth of VEVE. Now, I want to touch upon as well another thing they spoke about, which I think was really important. Now, they touched upon how they decide how many edition numbers to have. Now, I sort of spoke about potentially the artists having an influence on it. They didn't confirm this, but what they did confirm was that it's chosen based on popularity, and that's how they choose their mint numbers. Now, I know sometimes within the general community, they can get sort of maybe a little bit frustrated sometimes about thinking there's too many of a collectible available, but you have to consider that each individual collectible and each individual license has its own sort of range of popularity. So if we consider Batman having, say, I don't know, 5,000 different editions being released, and I'm going to touch upon something that was touched that they said, which I think will be really important for you guys to consider long term. When you think about the actual popularity of the collectible itself, this is where the mint numbers are coming from, and you have to remember that this is catered for everybody. This hasn't been created for the appreciation of the secondary market. This is created for new users to come in and buy their favorite collectibles. This is very important to remember. And when they touched upon this being chosen around the popularity, the mint numbers being chosen around the popularity, I think that's why we've seen with the most recent Batman Series 5, we saw one of the coolest designs being within the Commons because of this factor, that it's what would be one of the more popular styles of designs, and more people are going to want to have it. So I thought that was interesting to say. And also they spoke about potentially even taking some of if something doesn't sell out, they'd actually take the collectible, the remaining inventory, off the marketplace, meaning that this is going to add value into the commons and uncommons long term. So, and the last point I want to touch upon here as well was that they spoke about this, and I spoke about this in my previous videos about how the mint numbers we see right now, long term, are going to seem very small when we consider there's going to be millions of users. And they even touched upon this. You know, right now we could potentially see, I don't know, like 5,000 editions for a Batman, for example, or we'll use even 3,800 for some of the most recent ones, just for sort of more common knowledge for the ultra rares. Okay, they even spoke about this when we have millions of users and this becomes a worldwide global brand. 3,000 editions, 3,000 editions are just going to be a thing of the past, guys. We just got to accept this. You know, when this project grows and when this user base grows, when we look back at this particular moment in time in history and see that we were able to get involved with some of these collectibles with only 3,800 editions, and then they're releasing ultra rares that have 10, 15, 20,000 editions because of the amount of demand that's in the platform and the amount of users that are involved, we're going to really see how rare these ultra rares actually are when we think about the long-term scope. So just a very interesting thing to touch upon, and I thought I'd make that sort of aware to you guys and bring it to your attention. Now, another thing they spoke about as well, or just something I wanted to show you, was actually the Ron English launch. So I've made a video touched on this already, but we actually have a little view of what the actual statue will look like. So I'll just quickly play this through for you. So you can see this looks really cool. I've got no sound on this, but this is going to look really cool. Look, I mean, this is going to be so sought after. They do touch upon how they're going to launch this. I think they're still finishing this off and trying to sort of iron out about how best to deliver this. And I think that's the right move to make, not to make too many announcements around this just yet, because, you know, like I say, this is a physical and digital collectible. Each individual collectible is going to have its own unique serial number on the actual product itself, and then you'll be able to claim your digital collectible inside of the VEVE platform. So very interesting style launch to actually be able to visually see this. Very exciting, and I can't wait for that. And then the last thing I want to touch upon is sort of some of the new app updates that they brought in. So they've got some more browsing features for sort of sorting functionality within the application, being able to sort by highest to lowest of byte now and auctions, and then also being able to sort by edition numbers. Now, I think this is really important because I'm definitely more catered towards inside the collectible marketplace. I'm trying to get the lowest edition numbers. It's part of my collecting strategy. It's what I enjoy doing. I like the aspect of collecting something that I think is going to be really rare. And like I say, if you're interested in learning more about stuff like that, I'm actually going to link NFT Pirates in the description below. They do a great job of educating people on some of the history behind some of the NFTs, some of the sort of just some of the background behind some of the serial numbers that will be important. So I'll link them in the description below. Now, another thing they're going to be allowing is bringing notifications for serial numbers. So you can imagine when a serial number launches, let's say that you're a collector of serial numbers like 150 and you want to get the full range within a series of for 150 serial, right? Well, what they're going to allow functionality within the application is that you're going to be able to essentially set up a notification on your phone. So when someone drops serial 150, you can even get involved with the auction or buy it now or whatever. So I think that's really cool to consider that they're going to add that functionality. And then they're also going to allow users, and I thought this was really cool. This actually is the last point I'm going to touch upon. There was loads of updates. So if you want to go watch the full video, go through and watch it now. They're going to allow people to actually make offers on your collectibles, even if it's not for sale. Now, I think that is going to be epic. What a cool functionality. Because, you can imagine, let's say that you have, serial, 50 for a collectible now, and you just want to hold this off. It's not on offer. No one, you're not put it on the marketplace. But let's say someone comes along and goes, right, I want serial 50. I'll offer you, $10,000. Okay, this is just for argument's sake, okay? You might turn around and go, okay, this is pretty exciting. I never really thought about selling it, but the right offers come along and, I've been holding it a while and I'm ready to sell. So you might just accept that 10,000 offer, even though you weren't fully committed, essentially, to having the collectible up for sale. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing to touch upon as they continue to add functionality into the application. So I'm just going to leave this video here. These were the bits that I took away from it. The more technical aspects behind the OMI token, the functionality and the things like that. There'll be other channels on YouTube that will touch upon this, but my specific focus point is the VEVE application, the development of the application, the collectibles being released, and that aspect of the business. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, then please consider dropping a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.